Hi, I'm Dr. Erica Bruner, and today's question that I'm going to answer is, does acupuncture hurt? And always immediately after that question is, how do pets tolerate it? So I'm going to address the first one first. And I think, we have to be honest when we say acupuncture does hurt a bit. It depends. From my own experience, needles on the back, needles on the kind of upper limbs, are not too uncomfortable. There's usually a pricking sensation right when the needle is first put in, and then after that, not. As we get further down the limbs and especially towards the toes, there's less flesh there, maybe more nerve endings, per square inch or whatever, and it is more likely that something is going to be uncomfortable. But typically that really is only right when the needle is placed or just for a moment or two afterward. And my patients, if they're feeling pain, they're not shy about letting me know. I see their response when I put a needle in. And if somebody is feeling pain, for more than just a moment after the needle is placed, and it's not too bad, I will try to distract them by petting them or giving them extra treats. But if they're really uncomfortable for more than just a few moments, I will take the needle out. But that's extremely rare. The vast majority of the time, even if they're uncomfortable for a little while after the needle is placed, the distraction works and it just settles in and they relax. So I would say that most needles are not that uncomfortable. And, the other thing to know about needle sensation is that it depends on what style of acupuncture you practice, but the style that I was trained in, the feeling of the needle being placed, you actually have to have a feeling in order for the needle to do its job. It's called de qi, the arrival of qi, and it means that the needle is communicating with the body. So when I see a little bit of response from my patients, I actually value that. I'm looking for that. And one of my instructors told me it should be somewhere between I didn't feel that at all and I'm about to kill you. Another thing that I've noticed from my own treatments is that, if a needle is unusually uncomfortable on insertion, it's also seems to be a more powerful treatment. So, sometimes it just seems like that spot really needs to get treated. So I think that's the answer to the painful question, is that it can hurt a bit, but it's usually not something that's really a problem. And then the question of how animals tolerate it, I will do several things to make it a little bit easier. My primary way of doing it is through treats. So I will give the person a stack of treats, and they have to be really delicious treats, and then I will place a needle and have the person give a treat. Place a needle, give a treat. So if we do it in this way, we associate the treat with the needle becomes something that the pet actually looks forward to because they know, they have that instant association with the very good treat that comes right along with it. And that helps a lot. If I had a patient who was really super averse to needles, if the person wanted to, I would prescribe a little sedative to give before treatments. Many of my colleagues have done that, and that seems to be helpful. I haven't yet had a patient that's really not tolerating the needles to that extent, but some are more sensitive than others. Cats seem to be more sensitive maybe on the whole than dogs. I think that sometimes can work in their favor in some ways because they also seem to need fewer needles to have a similar effect. For cats, I have a couple of techniques. I've got a box that's about this big with an open top, and some cats feel much more comfortable inside the box, and I treat them in there. And then I've got one patient, she doesn't like the box, but she likes a vest, and so her people bring in a vest with her every time, and she gets herself kind of into and under the vest, and then I'm able to reach in through the armholes or the other openings in the vest and treat her that way. So that helps a lot too. So I hope that answered the question, and if you would like more information about my practice, please check out my website, heartofvermontvet.com. And if you have a question for this series or a question for me directly, please send an email. It's info@heartofvermontvet.com. Thanks.